Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Today I thought I would do something very classic that you could wear for any time of the year, but especially right now for like holiday parties, New Year's Eve, stuff like that. This is a really good go-to look that doesn't really clash with your outfit. It just goes with everything and it's just such a good go-to. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you enjoy following along. Please subscribe and let's get started. So even though this is going to be mainly eye focused, I am going to start with the face first just because I like doing my face before I do my eyes. Feel free to do it in whatever order you prefer. So I am gonna start with primer and I'm using the Hourglass Veil Primer. This is one of my favorite primers, especially for oily skin. I feel like this really helps to keep the foundation on and keep the oil subsided. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using the Dior Forever Matte Foundation in the shade 2.5N, putting 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and then I'm just gonna pick it up with an IT Cosmetics number 7 brush and just apply it to the skin. Just buffing this in, bringing it down the neck a little. For concealer, I'm gonna go into my current favorite. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I have this shade NC25. I'm gonna try to do just a baby dot, just a little one, because this stuff is so full coverage. The way it comes out is just so hard to control. I'm just using an FO3 from Sigma, blending this in. I'm gonna powder my under eyes with the Makeup Forever H104 powder. Just mix a little bit of this in and just set all of the under eye area. This is very important when you are doing your face first, because that way when you do your eyes second, if you have any eyeshadow that falls down onto the face, you've set that area. So now you will be able to go in with a brush and just go whoop, and the dark shadows should be able to just wipe away right away. Because I get oily, I'm gonna go into the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and set the sides of my nose, chin, right in between my eyebrows, although I am super dry there right now, but I'm gonna put it there anyways just because I know I'll get oily. I'm gonna bronze with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Medium. It looks like this. This has become one of my favorite bronzers, hands down. I really love the bronzer brush that is designed for this. It's fluffy, but also kind of like a paddle brush, so it's flat on one side, if you can see that. So it makes it easy to put product in a broad area, but also diffuse it in a way, but you can also get precise. So like right now, I'm using it this way to get more broad, and then if you want it more precise, just do like that. And when I do a very smoky eye, I love being extra bronzed and contoured. Not like that's any different from a natural look, I guess, but especially when I have a very dramatic smoky eye going on the eyes, I just love everything else to match. I'm gonna go into my MAC palette and grab the Bone Beige color here and contour my face using the Smith 112 brush to do so. Just getting right here. Sides of the forehead, temples. Let me know if you want an updated contour and highlight routine. I feel like I do it just a little bit different than my last video on contouring and highlighting. I'm sure it's still pretty dramatic for the majority of you. I probably look way too contoured, but that's okay. For highlighter, I'm gonna go into the Fenty Kilowatt highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I haven't used this in like a year, but I remember loving this when it first came out, and I usually will mix them two together. I might actually start with this side first. So I'm gonna use my Sigma F35 brush and first just go into this side on its own and just highlight. Oh, that's a really pretty color. Just kind of like forgot about these. Okay, also get the nose and the Cupid's bow. And I'm gonna go into like a little and just hit that everywhere. Just a touch. Maybe do a little up here too, just a little bit. For my blush, I haven't used this in a long time either. This is the Brilliant Nude blush from Hourglass. This used to be my jam, but I haven't used it in a few years, I don't think. So I'm gonna go in with my F40 brush from Sigma and just apply this. It's more of that like this pretty sheen to it where it just gives this nice glow to the cheeks. And I know I get oily, but I still love luminous products because they're just so pretty. I'm gonna bring that everywhere. I'm going to use the Hourglass brow pencil. Push them up I'm gonna fill in all the sparse areas. So quick now that they're microbladed. All I gotta do is like go into the front area and just sparse areas and I'm set to go. I'm gonna go in with the Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. I'm just gonna prime my eyelids, press it in with my finger, and then just set with some of this H104 powder from Makeup Forever. Same stuff I put on my under eyes. I'm actually gonna put this back under again just to make sure this is all extra powdered. For my eyeshadow, I am gonna be using the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. Looks like this on the inside. I chose this just because regardless of your skin tone, there is going to be a shade in here that works for you. So you can kind of customize this depending on if you need it lighter or darker and just use those shades accordingly. So I am going to start with this shade here and put this in the crease. So I'm gonna start by bringing this just right through the crease. I'm looking down into it and I'm just buffing. I'm gonna take that same color right underneath. And then, of course, we're gonna use that same color and just build it up. It's like my favorite way to do eyeshadow is start light, build up the color, make it a little bit darker, a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more blown out, and just keep kind of like adding all of these layers. I'm gonna start deepening this up a little bit. So to do that, I'm gonna mix these two together. This is the one I was just using in my crease and then mixing in with a little bit of this shade underneath it. I might add a little bit of this one too, just because it has a little bit more red in it. And we can just start deepening up this look. And anytime I add any deeper colors, I always start on the outer lid just so that it doesn't go overboard with too much dark on the inner part. Just bring it here, and then once the majority of the color's off the brush, I start kind of bringing it upwards into the crease in circles and windshield wiper motions all the way to the inner. And anytime I go into the inner part of that crease, it's once the majority of the product is off of my brush. Bringing those same colors underneath. I'm gonna start deepening this up. So I'm gonna switch my brush. This whole time I was using a rougher 16. I'm actually gonna use this old ass brush. This is a MAC 217. I haven't used this in so long. I'm gonna take this shade and mix it with this shade, just like this, and just push it right here on the outer lid. And just kind of wiggle that there on that outer lid. It's going to naturally kind of poof up, so I'm trying to stay pretty low so I don't want to bring this too high right away. And then go back in with the first brush and blend. Blend out the edges. Slowly dragging that up into the crease and blending it out. I'm going to bring those colors on the bottom. Just keep looking upwards so I can access that area. I'm gonna grab a Sigma E15 brush. I'm gonna go into this deep dark brown shade. Just wiggle my brush in there, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna stamp this right on the outer lash line and then just kind of wiggle this upward. Or I'm not wiggling, I'm just kind of like patting it in and starting here and then moving up, patting in, moving up. I'm gonna slowly bringing it onto the inner part of the lash line. I'm also gonna go into the black shade. I normally don't use black eyeshadow for the most part, just because it can end up being like so dramatic on my skin tone. Pat it right here on the lash line. Just keep it focused at the lash line. I'm gonna go into these two shades mixed together and use those two shades to blend it upwards. That way it's not like stark deep black on the outer corner, which would also be pretty, but not for what I'm looking for right now. And then go in and blend. Not really blending up, I'm just kind of going over it and just kind of like moving it around, you know? I'm gonna grab that first shade on the belly of the brush, which is this part, not the tip of it, it's the flat part. I'm gonna lay it flat on its side and just push it on the inner part of the lid. So this is gonna brighten this area up without going super, super, super light. So it'll just kind of look like my skin because it's pretty close to my skin tone. I do want to make the underside a little bit more smoky, but I don't want to put any black on the bottom because it's going to make that very, very dramatic. I think I'm just going to grab this Wayne Goss number 20 brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here. Look up into my mirror and keep this really close to the lashes as much as I possibly can. Even though this isn't nearly as deep as the other shades we used, it's still going to really deepen that lower lash line. Then I'm going to go into that first brush and just really buff this out. I'm going to grab the highlighter that I used on my face, the Fenty highlighters, and a teeny tiny brush, and I'm just going to take that right here on the inner corner, doing this just to re-brighten everything up. I didn't get any fallout, but just to brighten up the under eyes. I'm gonna go into the Makeup by Mario brightening pencil in the shade Light 1. Pop this in on my waterline. This is really gonna open up the eyes in contrast with all of these deeper shades and really make the eyes pop. I'm gonna grab that E15 very lightly with whatever's left over and pop this right at the lashes, and only right at the lashes. I'm gonna go into the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. Apply this on my lashes. This look would be so pretty just with like tons of mascara. I am gonna go in with false lashes because that's just the vibe I'm going for today, but this would be really pretty with just some really thick, chunky mascara. I'm gonna go into these lashes from Velour. They're the Here to Slay lashes. Lashes are on, they're still kind of like drying and adhering, so I feel like the glue is still there a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in with the Extended Play mascara from MAC and just pop this on the bottom lashes. And I'm gonna try to avoid getting this on the waterline. For the lips, I really want to try these liquid lipsticks from Smashbox. I've had these for a while. This is Fair Game and Gotta Light, and they're both these like light beigey neutral lip colors. I'm thinking Fair Game is going to work, especially because I'm probably going to go in with a deeper lip liner. So I do have these two from ColourPop that I've been dying to try. I'm going to go in with the lighter one first. This is in the color Ashton, and I'm just going to line. Ooh, that is like very cool toned. Was not expecting that. This looks like gray on me right now. One sec. Well, I'm gonna finish the lip and then we're gonna go with something else because this is not really what I want. So we don't like that. Let me try this one. This is in the color Cool BFF. Ooh, that's also pretty cool tone. I mean, I knew they were gonna be cooler toned, but not this cool toned. Playing around here, I am now gonna go into Nude 1.5 from KKW Beauty. And I'm literally just gonna go over top of what I just did. Hopefully that'll warm it up enough. Well, that's pretty. This is a weird lip I got going on. I'm going to try going in with Fair Game from Smashbox. It looks a little pink. We'll see what happens here. I'm now gonna go into Gotta Light, and I'm gonna put this on the outer bits of my lips. The lip is finally done. It's not exactly what I was going for, but I think it still works. This is the final look up close. Very happy with the whole end result. I feel like this is just such a good classic smoky look that you can wear for anything, any time of the year, but especially right now with the holiday season going on. I feel like this is just such a go-to smoky look that you could wear for a holiday party or whatever you want to get dressed up for, New Year's, whatever, but also any time of the year this works. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for following along with this tutorial. If you end up recreating this, please tag me on social media. I'd love to see your looks. Let me know down below what you want to see next. Please subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.